My background's in paediatrics, which is children's medicine. So I came to the charity in 1999 when Freshwinds was expanding its work with children. So I fitted in to that sort of position of trying to expand the work that we were doing with children. At the time, I was just looking for different jobs that were available for people with sort of interest in working with children. So I saw an advert for a children's project work coordinator in Freshwinds in the newspaper and applied that way. So it was ideal to what I wanted to do, which was working with children in a way that I liked working, which is giving people time to talk about what their problems are and trying to help them through those problems. So that was very impressive when I came to the interview to see how Freshwinds works to treat people holistically. When I started at Freshwinds, it was already growing at that time, and I think over the years the charity has grown enormously, not just in size but in the sort of diversity of the projects that are going on, and also the sophistication of the work that we're doing. But I think probably the most important thing about Freshwinds has stayed the same, and that's the spirit of Freshwinds. And it's really important to understand where Freshwinds is coming from, and the fundamental spirit of Freshwinds is about providing caring support to the people that come to us for help. So, as I said, there's lots of different projects within Freshwinds covering lots of different areas of work. Some of it's helping people with their health needs, some of it helping people with their social needs. But at the core of each of those projects is this belief that people deserve caring support. So that's things like listening to people sincerely, being conscientious about supporting them, and having a genuine interest in improving their lives. And I think when people come to work at Freshwinds, they see that it's sort of really important to recognise that sort of the people that provide that caring support are the staff and the volunteers, and the dedication of the staff and the volunteers at Freshwinds. And when you talk to people that come here to work, you see that a lot of the time it's their sort of commitment to wanting to help people that's brought them here, and they see that the holistic aspect of what we do as being important. So I think whilst we're sort of celebrating 20 years of Freshwinds, I think it's also important to celebrate the sort of the fundamental spirit of Freshwinds, which is about caring support and about sort of the staff and the volunteers that provide that caring support. And I think that sort of, there is always times in any charity or in any work you go through ups and downs, and life can be difficult and stressful, but at the end of it all you keep on going because you can see the benefits of what you're doing for the people that you're helping, and that keeps you going. Yeah. One of the biggest things you learn about when you're working in Freshwinds is being non-judgmental is the biggest thing. You come across so many different types of people with lots of different types of problems, and it's important it goes back to listening to people with sincerity and sort of goodwill in your heart. It's important not to just judge them by their colour or their race or their sexuality. Look at them as a person who have likes and dislikes and stresses and happiness, and bring it all together when you're seeing them and try and support them that way. So that's really important. And I think a lot of people sort of talk about not being prejudiced, not being judgmental, but it's not until you're actually faced with helping lots of different types of people that you realise that as you've grown up, you just start putting people in pigeonholes, which you shouldn't really do. And that's one thing you learn working at Freshwinds, is not putting people into pigeonholes and seeing them as an individual. The way I've seen the evolution of Freshwinds is that initially it started off as a charity that provided complementary therapies for people, because at that time that was the need to help people with health problems that was so significant that normal medical care wasn't enough. It added an extra element of care to support the medical care to help with their symptoms. And then over the years you find that when people are feeling better, they have other issues that come up, like social issues about housing problems or employment or benefits. So some of the projects that I've developed to support those needs. And it just goes back to that concept of holistic care and caring support. Is we look at each person as an individual and seeing what their needs are. And then a lot of the projects have developed because we've identified needs that weren't being met, or we weren't being able to meet them. So if we couldn't find anywhere else that would support those needs, then we thought, well, we'll develop those projects to support those needs. So I think the best thing about, I guess the biggest thing about Freshwinds is it goes through an evolution based on people's needs, and it's constantly changing. The children that come here, they usually have lots of different health problems, often quite disabled, multiple disabilities, or they may have cancer or muscular dystrophy or Down syndrome, cerebral palsy. So quite often they have a lot of different health problems. And the way we use complementary therapies is to try and help support them with those health problems. Can't cure people, but it's about helping them with their symptoms. And certainly with the children, a large part of what we do is also supporting the family. So often the parents are going through a lot of stress as well. So by helping them help the child, you're helping with their stress, helping with reducing tension within the family. Sometimes we have workshops where we teach family members how to do therapy on the children, but also therapy for themselves, so relaxation skills and massage skills, things like that. And we have outings every so often for the families that come here for therapies. And that's a way of bringing different families together so they can learn from each other and support each other. How to describe Mohammed? Okay. He's very conscientious, he comes, everything he does comes from his heart. He's very passionate about helping people. And I think that's come throughout the whole organisation. It goes back to the spirit. I mean, he is the spirit of Freshwinds I was talking about earlier. That's where the spirit of Freshwinds started, and it's stayed throughout all that time. When we're helping people with their spiritual needs and spirituality, it's about giving them a sense of purpose, a sense of being. A lot of the people that we support on our projects are people that are dying, so they're reaching towards the end of their life. And it's about helping them understand that they still have a purpose in life. They can still get enjoyment out of life, even though they are coming towards the end of their life because of their health problem. They can still have purpose, and that's where the spirituality comes in.